People have claimed that the Moza Air 2 is a new Ronin-S, but just 1 year later, and it does not bring anything new into the market. Is this true? In this video we're gonna be reviewing the Moza Air 2, we're gonna do some tests, we're gonna talk about the specs, and in the upcoming video we'll do a comparison versus the Ronin-S and the Crane 2. No more talking, let's go inside. Hello guys and welcome again. This is Alex Asmacher with Chivo on the camera, and this is the Moza Air 2, as you already know. But let me start this review saying that for, documenting myself a little bit for this video, I saw a few reviews out there, and I have to say 99% of the videos that I saw were like sponsored, paid. There were people getting this thing and saying, this is the best thing that ever happened in my life, there's nothing like it. Well guys, it's a pretty good device, but it's not a game changer, or it's not the best thing that happened in our lives. And in this review, it's gonna be 100% honest, and we're gonna tell you why. It's been 1 year since the Ronin came into the market almost. And as they say, a year in technology is like a century in humanity, and there are some improvements compared to the Ronin-S. But there are also some big deceiving points. We're gonna be honest, and this is the review of the Moza Air 2. Jesus, Chivo, you finished already, man? I just want to work. Let me work. Spanish sun in February. Chivo, just let me know when you're filming, man. I was just enjoying here a little bit. First point, the price. Why is this so important, and why am I putting it first? Because it can make you decide whether to purchase this thing or not. The official price is $599, which of course is the same price as the official price of the Ronin-S. But again, this is not a comparison video. That video is coming in a couple of days, and you'll be able to see full test against the Ronin-S and the Crane 2. What I was saying, that you can find the Moza Air 2 if you look a little bit on the internet and go to those China warehouses, a little bit strange, you can find it for $400. And this is really important because it can take you up to $200. You can pay $200 less in price for getting this. And if money is really important for you, this can be the point that makes you buy this thing. Right now we're going to a plain surface, a nice spot, and I want to do a balancing test. So Chivo's gonna mess everything up because now it is balanced, and I'm pretty bad at balancing. It takes me a lot of time usually, and I want to see in real time for you guys if it's easy, because there are a few nice things that we're going to talk about in a second about this balancing system. Woohoo! Right now, as you can see, this is like the worst possible balancing position ever. Look at this, but I just want to show you, if I turn it on, it's not turned on yet, but if I turn it on, even being so badly balanced, it gets almost perfect. Of course, if I now move a little bit, it'll get some problems, but let's balance it. For this purpose, Chivo had the magnificent idea to use the stopwatch and, see how much time it gets me. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Okay guys, I absolutely failed. I'm still very bad here. Now it's Chivo doing it, and I'm gonna use the stopwatch. Look at his face. Not so easy, huh? 37 seconds, not bad. And right now, and before going into the studio and talking about the specs and the feelings in hand of this nice device, we're gonna do some shots, some tests, and we're gonna do some cinematic shooting also, running, walking and all that, and you'll see how it performs. Let's go. Of course, and before I forget, we're gonna change this Canon, this old Canon, and we're gonna use and put the Sony a6500 on the Moza Air 2. guys, I really hope that you like this kind of video. I don't know what Chivo is doing. Make sure to follow us on Instagram. We post a lot of behind the scenes footage of our reviews and everything we're doing. Make sure to check it out, and I don't know, if you're on Instagram, swipe up to go to YouTube. Nice home run! Well, let's talk a little bit about the feelings that we had when using this and when doing the tests and for the hours that we've been using it. First, I swear that you can notice the difference in weight. For me, it's a little bit lighter than what I'm used to on the Ronin. Chivo says no, but I think it is so. Second, the grip. The grip, for me, it's one of the best things in this gimbal. The grip is very comfortable. It lies good in my hand. I can hold it and I don't feel like I'm gonna get tired of holding it in this position. Overall, it does look pretty solid. It is a good device. It does really play well in the Ronin and Crane League, and it's a serious competitor. It will come up to you, and we'll say that in the conclusions. The motors overall seem to be pretty good, and stabilizing, as you could see, Chivo did it. It was pretty fast. Overall, it doesn't look like it's gonna be falling and crashing and breaking. And finally, the buttons, they are pretty okay. I don't see, maybe this dial, this wheel could be a little bit better. And what we don't like at all is this joystick. I have the feeling like with a hit or something like that, it can easily break. But now let's talk in the studio. Let's go there and see a little bit more about the functions and all the specs and details of the Moza Air 2. It is lighter than the Ronin-S, about half a pound, 200-250 grams, and you can quite feel it when using it. Not too much though, but after half an hour or so, I believe you can feel it. But it can also, and this is a good point for this one, take bigger payloads for bigger and heavier cameras. But you know, between you and me, it will depend more on your arm than on the payload, of course. It has a 16-hour battery, and as you can see here, they are 4 removable batteries. The good thing about this, it not only powers the gimbal in this case, it also powers, for example, your phone or even the camera or an external monitor. Whatever you want, you can connect it to those batteries. And of course, now that we're talking about the batteries, the good thing is without having to, unscrew stuff, you just take this plate off and you can exchange all 4 batteries in case you have another set of batteries. Here at this part of the gimbal, you can find the USB-C port, but it's not for charging the batteries, as for that you have an external charger. It is for updating, for example, the firmware. Also a great thing about this gimbal is the style here. Usually you use it for the focus, but in case you can't really connect it to the camera, on the Ronin-S it will be useless. In this case we can adjust this dial, for example, to change the roll of the gimbal, and you can use it while filming, which makes this completely useful and not useless. The new gimbals also have this part of the gimbal, in this case this motor, that does not block the side of the screen, and of course you can much better touch the screen if you have a touch screen and see what you're filming, because remember the Crane 2, the motor was just in front of the screen and you couldn't really see what you were filming. Something very useful also was when you do like this very slowly and then recenter the camera, you can do this nice shots, vertical shots, 90-degree shots that you can use when shooting shoes or people running or the feet of someone. But again, you have to be very careful, because for example, if you're like this and do it to your left side, it kinda goes crazy. One of the greatest features, and we love probably the most about this gimbal, is this plate, this double plate here. They have done a double system in order first to, if you lose it, of course, you can move forward and backwards your position of the camera. But the nice thing about this, you have this other plate that when unlocking it, you can just take your camera off and then put it back for changing, for example, the battery. You put it back and it remembers the position in order not to calibrate it anymore, which is pretty awesome. Also very nice, and the Ronin does not have this, is this screen. Even though it's not a super duper screen, it's enough in order to adjust everything and every setting and button and everything on this gimbal. And the good thing, of course, is that you don't need any more to connect your phone. I remember some other gimbals, you had to download the app and then connect, and it wasn't connecting and you have problems. Here you can solve everything from here. For example, the screen is also nice in order to, adjust the speed and the power of each one of the axes or the pan tilt and all that. An interesting feature in this case is the inception mode. By pressing 3 times this button, you enter into the inception mode. You can do it manually, as you can see, but you can also turn with the dial the speed on, and it will do the job for you, and pretty fast too. And of course, the trigger button, the most important in a gimbal for us. We always said it. When, for example, if your camera is like this, press it twice, it'll go to the initial position. Press it 3 times, it'll go into the selfie mode if you have a very strong arm and you're a vlogger. And for getting back into the normal mode, twice, and that's pretty much it. If you want to get into the full lock mode, just hold the trigger and you can do whatever you want. By holding and pressing this button, you enter the sport mode and you can, shoot everything very, very fast, like Chibo editing. As this is an honest and true review and we're just saying everything as we felt it, let's start with the good things, and inside these conclusions we want to be a little bit more deep about our thoughts. First, what we really loved a lot was this double plate, as we told you in the studio, where you can fix one position and then if you have to change the battery of the camera and take it off and everything, you can put it back and it's already calibrated. That saves you so much time, and it's really not so difficult, and it really is super good. Second, the possibility of having removable batteries on this gimbal is good, because first, if you're in the middle of an event, a wedding or whatever, you just can, change them for a new set and put the new charged ones. And second, after 1 year, maybe 2 years, when the batteries, the capacity goes down, you can just buy a new set and you will always have top batteries inside the Moza Air 2. Third, this style, the possibility of setting the roll, for example, here helps you to not having something useless here, which is also good. And I wanted to say now something that in the review I mentioned as something positive, but now I felt like it is negative, and it's the screen here. First, as you saw, I said, wow, this is awesome, I don't need a phone, I can set here everything up. But now, after using it for some hours, I saw that it is confusing. I have to read the manual maybe 10 times to understand what each symbol means and everything. And if I just want to film out of the box, or I'm in a rush in an event, I want to film something fast, I'll lose my time and my patience with those settings. I'd rather have now putting out my phone once in the beginning, setting everything up and then forgetting it, having 1, 2 or 3 modes like the Ronin, for example, and then using them. Then having 27,000 modes, which I don't even know what they mean. I have to press here once, it means one thing, then I have to press it 3 times, it is something completely different. I just got confused when shooting now. I was a little bit confused, so I don't like the screen anymore. And even though we saw that it was pretty easy to balance everything and calibrate everything, we saw at some point that it just got crazy and some functions were not working properly. But I don't want to say this as something really negative, because I want to see in 1 month if it still happens to me because I'm a noob or because it is complicated. So let's put it in a maybe category. Summing up, in the end, it is a gimbal that is pretty good, and for the price it works. It is in the league of the Ronin and the Crane. It's gonna be a matter of your taste. It is ready to be used properly. However, I believe that Goodson lost a little bit when trying to put all the different modes and all the different settings into this thing. I'd rather have something simple, ready to use out of the box, 1 or 2 modes. I don't need 27, so that I don't lose time and patience. Overall, even though it's a good gimbal. Nothing really else to say, guys. I really hope that you liked this video. Leave a thumb for Chibo and for WetalkUAV overall. And remember that the comparison with the Ronin and the Crane is coming in a couple of days. This will be an in-depth comparison with really nice tests on a bike, on a motorbike, blah, blah, blah. And I really hope that you liked it. Leave your thoughts in the comments. You know that we answer everything, and nothing really else to say. Always remember to keep calm and talk UAV.